Have you ever wondered why some people over 60 suddenly regain their energy, their clarity, even their confidence, while others keep struggling despite doing everything right? What if the real problem isn't your willpower, your age, or your metabolism, but the way you were taught to eat? What if one simple shift could help your body remember how to heal itself again? And what if the biggest mistake most people make with keto is the very first step they take? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you may realize that keto was never meant to be hard, dangerous, or extreme. It was meant to work with your body, not against it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this, chances are you've heard about the keto diet. Maybe a friend lost weight. Maybe your doctor mentioned blood sugar. Maybe you're tired of feeling inflamed, sluggish, or stuck in a body that no longer feels like home. And if you're over 60, you may also be thinking, is this even safe for me? That question matters, and today we're going to answer it the right way, calmly, clearly, step by step, without hype, without fear, and without shortcuts that damage your health. Here's something most people are never told. Keto is not a weight loss trick. It's a metabolic reset. And when you understand that, everything changes. Your body was designed to run on two fuels, sugar and fat. For decades, you were taught to rely almost entirely on sugar, even if you never realized it. Bread, cereal, pasta, fruit juice, snacks, they all quietly trained your body to burn glucose all day long. Over time, especially after 50 or 60, that constant sugar burning mode creates inflammation, insulin resistance, fatigue, brain fog, and stubborn weight. Keto works because it gently teaches your body how to switch fuels again. But that switch must be done correctly. The first step is mental, not nutritional. You must stop thinking of food as calories and start thinking of food as signals. Every time you eat, you send instructions to your hormones. Insulin listens, cortisol listens, your fat cells listen. When carbs are high, insulin stays high and fat stays locked away. When carbs drop and healthy fats rise, insulin calms down and your body finally gets permission to use stored fat for energy. This is where many people over 60 feel something they haven't felt in years: steady energy without crashes. But only if you begin slowly and intentionally. The second step is removing the right carbohydrates. Not all food. Keto is not starvation. Keto is not skipping meals forever. Keto begins by removing sugar, refined grains, and processed starches. That means soda, candy bread, pasta, pastries, and most packaged foods. This alone reduces inflammation dramatically. Many people notice less joint pain within days. But here's the loop most people miss: removing carbs without replacing them properly creates weakness, dizziness, and frustration. That's not keto failing. That's keto done incorrectly. This brings us to the third step: adding healthy fats with confidence. For decades, you were told fat would clog your arteries and shorten your life. That fear was misplaced. Natural fats like olive oil, avocados, grass-fed butter, eggs, fatty fish, and nuts are essential signals of safety to your body. They tell your system, you are nourished, you can relax. For older adults, this is critical. When your body feels deprived, it releases stress hormones. When it feels supported, it heals. Keto done correctly always replaces carbs with fats, never with fear. Now let's talk about protein, because this is where many people over 60 accidentally sabotage results. More protein is not always better. Excess protein can convert into glucose and slow ketosis. The goal is moderate, high-quality protein. Think eggs, fish, poultry, and occasional red meat if tolerated. Enough to maintain muscle, not so much that your body never switches fuel. This balance protects strength, bone health, and metabolism as you age. And yes, muscle can still be built and preserved after 60 when insulin is under control. The next step is hydration and minerals, and this step is non-negotiable. When carbs drop, your body releases water and sodium. This is why people feel tired or lightheaded in the first week. The solution is not quitting. The solution is replacing electrolytes. Water, salt, potassium-rich foods, and magnesium support your nervous system, heart rhythm, and muscles. Many older adults feel calmer and sleep better once minerals are balanced. Keto doesn't drain you when done right. It stabilizes you. Now comes a moment of honesty. Keto is not instant. Your body may take 2 to 4 weeks to fully adapt. During this time, something powerful happens beneath the surface. Your mitochondria, the energy engines of your cells, become more efficient. Your brain learns to use ketones, a cleaner fuel than sugar. Many people report clearer thinking, improved mood, and even reduced anxiety. This is not imagination. This is biology responding to stability. And this is where most people quit, right before the breakthrough. Here's a critical loop to remember. Hunger on keto usually means something is missing, not that you need more carbs. It may be fat, it may be electrolytes, it may be sleep. Older adults often confuse thirst or mineral deficiency with hunger. When you address the root, cravings fade naturally. This is why keto done correctly feels freeing, not restrictive. Food stops controlling you. You start listening to your body again. Let's talk about timing because your age makes this important. You do not need to eat constantly. Keto naturally reduces appetite. Allow this to happen. Gentle fasting, such as delaying breakfast or spacing meals, supports insulin sensitivity and cellular repair. But forcing long fasts too early can backfire. Start by eating when hungry, stopping when satisfied, and letting your body set the rhythm. Respect builds results. Now, a word about fear. Many people worry about cholesterol. Here's the truth. Triglycerides usually drop. HDL often rises. Inflammation markers improve. What matters most is insulin and inflammation, not outdated numbers taken out of context. Always work with a medical professional, especially if you take medication. Keto changes how your body uses energy, and adjustments may be needed. This is empowerment, not recklessness. Social pressure is another hidden challenge. Family may question you. Friends may doubt you. Remember this, you are not trying to look younger. You are trying to feel better. When your energy improves, your sleep deepens, and your joints move more freely, results speak louder than explanations. Quiet consistency always wins. As weeks pass, many people notice something unexpected: emotional stability. Blood sugar swings affect mood. Keto smooths those swings. This is especially meaningful later in life, when stress resilience matters more than appearance. Your nervous system finally gets a break. Let's loop back to the beginning. Keto is not about restriction. It is about restoring metabolic flexibility. It is about teaching your body to remember what it already knows. And when done step by step, with respect for age, history, and individuality, it can be one of the most powerful health tools available. If you've struggled before, it wasn't failure. It was missing guidance. If you're skeptical, that's wisdom, not weakness. Start slowly. Stay hydrated. Choose real food. Listen closely. Your body has been waiting for stability, not perfection. And now a final thought. Aging does not mean decline. It means adaptation. When you give your body the right signals, it responds even later in life. Energy can return, clarity can sharpen, strength can rebuild. The decision you make today does not just affect your weight. It affects how you feel waking up tomorrow. If this message resonated with you, don't ignore that feeling. Learn, apply, stay consistent. And most importantly, stay curious about what your body is still capable of, because the truth is, it may surprise you.